We've already put in an offer.
Yeah, we've never seen it, and we put in an offer in, like, under like a signed contract for this house.
That's what makes me so nervous is we've already signed the contract and we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, so same outfits. I'm just trying to do speedy back-to-back filming as much as I possibly can. But I don't know if you guys have heard, basically family of nomads, Jess and what's his name again? I've forgotten what his name is.
When they FaceTimed us, it didn't look this nice.
Jess and the guy. Jess and what is it? I can't remember what it is. Jess is moving. Jess has moved. I've actually watched their I just got finished watching, I don't know, like half an hour ago, they're moving out of an RV. I have a few thoughts about this whole movement. So I actually addressed this last time. It was also corresponding to the fact that there was someone basically pretending to be their eldest daughter who has like been in and out of like treatment, like inpatient or whatever. She's been in and out for illness, various illnesses and things, which we're not 100% privy to knowing, which is not something we should be knowing, of course. But the thing is that, of course, Jess has actually used her prior illnesses and current illnesses, like literally within advertisements and all of that kind of stuff. And then she then comes on and says you need to respect her privacy and things. And then someone then decided to pose as her on Reddit, and it was all extremely weird and sneaky and a bit meh. Anyway, shortly after basically Jess came on and she was just saying like, I've got a surprise, what's the big surprise? And they basically moved. Now, we don't know the reasoning as to why they've moved. If I had to harbour a guess, I would say it's something to do with their eldest daughter. We don't see any more at all. In fact, a lot of people ask, but she has said that, you know, if her kids don't want to appear online anymore, then they won't be. No questions asked. But even things like going to view a house, they literally will not show this child. They will not show this child to the point where, like, even when they're sat in the car, this other child very clearly isn't in the car. And it's not so much that, you know, they can just edit out this child. This child is literally nowhere to be seen at all times. But that is enough talking about this child. I only bring it up because, of course, people are then speculating that maybe they are deciding to move because, of course, that kind of lifestyle wouldn't work for their eldest child. And I live in, like a lot of people were saying, living in a big RV, just being like toured around and things probably wasn't in their best interest. But we're not the parents, we're not privy to know that. But what I will say is that if I were to speculate a guess, I would say that's probably the reasoning why. And it would make a lot of sense because they have bought this house, like they put an offer on this house without even seeing it.
I am definitely nervous about inspections on Monday, and I'm a little bit worried about like structural stuff.
They basically sent their friend there to go and, you know, like video chat what the house looked like, and they even themselves said that they didn't really like the look of it when the friend was showing her around, and they were a bit apprehensive. They weren't too sure on the pictures, yet they still put an offer down on this house.
When they FaceTimed us, it didn't look this nice.
Yeah, my friends like came over and FaceTimed and walked through, so that was like the only look that we got at it. What you think?
It's a lot better.
It's not better than you thought it was gonna be?
It is.
And this was the very first time they were going to view their house with their two younger kids. Once again, the eldest kid isn't there. And in my mind, I can imagine that they were in a big rush to get a house. And I am well aware that it is hard, especially if you find something like semi-affordable. You just want to pounce on it. But even they said that they're worried that this house like has mold issues, has structural damage because of water bursting and stuff. So in my head, it sounds like they basically, like, they needed a house and they needed to get out of the RV and they needed to go somewhere.
A couple things about the house that make us a little nervous. We think there might be some structural issues and we're concerned about mold. Looks like at one point they had a water leak that was not taken care of in like an appropriate amount of time. So we have inspections on Monday, but we got to town early so we can go ahead and look at the house.
And do you know, that would make perfect sense to sort of tie into what is going on with the eldest. But the thing that I can't wrap my head around, and it's not so much the fact that they have just literally jumped head first putting an offer on something they haven't even viewed. Thank God they didn't actually mind it when they left. Thank God. Although the dad did say that they were then sending in like kind of surveyors, I suppose, like people that actually go in and like really search for like structural and proper like integrity of the house, you know, difficulties. Whatever. I mean, I wouldn't personally. I know people that have literally, it's only renting, but I know people that have honestly just rung up and said we'll take it without even viewing the bloody house, and then they've got there and there were just so many issues, and they're only renting it thankfully. But I was always told, don't ever go, do not put an offer on anything, do not go for something unless like you're bloody seen it. But apparently they can take the offer off, so I'm not really sure, to be honest, how that's all looking. They haven't even got this effect. Anyway, whatever.
We haven't had inspections yet, so
we're doing this outside
like
the house.
if it's like so crazy, you know, that like we can't like fix everything, then we can get out of the contract. But I just have a feeling this is gonna be our house.
The problem that I had was actually there was this, it felt like it was just so Truman Show vibes, like following the kids around, proper like following them in from that, and it was like showing the house. If they decide to get this house, they have already had issues. Bearing in mind, I don't know where this house is located. I don't even know the state that they are in at the minute, but I'm sure a lot of people can work it out. I'm sure they have mentioned it, but I don't live in the States, so it wouldn't have like, their location, if she mentioned anything, wouldn't have come to my head to go, yeah, I know where that is. Do you know what I mean? If it was like in the UK, I'd be a bit like, oh, I kind of know where I'm at. Do you know what I mean? The thing is that they've already had like several issues now of people like impersonating their eldest daughter, like really going that far that they would try and impersonate a ill child and like pretend that this child like hates the mum. Like honestly, it was wild. I did a whole video on it, you can go back and check it. But why are you showing the insides of this house? Why are you showing the, like, why? I get it, like I fully understand it. You're getting a new house, you want to show it off, but the problem is they've only just got out of this like weird thing that happened, and I'm just like, for your kids' safety at least. I know they didn't show the outside, although they kind of did because they were showing the front porch, and if anyone knows of the area, it wouldn't be that difficult. And I just really worry because there are a lot of people that really do not like this family. Like, I'm not joking. And the thing is that in a way it is strange because they're not really on a lot of people's radar. But when I say there are people out here that really do not like this family, there are definitely weird people that don't like this family. And I'm just like, your daughter's just got out of this weird thing that she probably doesn't even know was happening on the internet surrounding her. Why are you showing that much information? Also, I saw this TikTok of, it was just so Truman Show vibes. I'll see if I can like edit out any views of the kids, but basically like there was a camera on the mum and then there was a camera on the kids, and they were all following each other around with cameras, and I'm like, what? This is so strange.
You guys open your eyes.
Whoa!
Oh my god, this would be a perfect work plan for mom.
Yeah. I reckon their next venture is going to be like doing up a house, like doing it on the cheap. They've already gone into like various kind of, it would be called a charity shop in kind of my eyes. I think they went into like Goodwill and stuff. I'm not sure if that's quite the same, but I'm pretty sure it is. They went to like Goodwill and they were going and getting like secondhand furniture and all that kind of stuff, which I think is great. They do earn a lot of money. Like, don't be going around thinking like, oh gosh, yeah, they're wanting to do everything, so, because they do, like they earn, I reckon they earn quite a lot of money. They get a lot of sponsorships, it's mad. But I think my point is that I'm very suspicious on the fact that they did basically just jump at this house without even going to go and view it. There's got to be a major reasoning as to why they chose and they had to suddenly get out of that RV. And to be honest with you, I'm happy that they are, you know, I'm not saying that like living in an RV some of the time couldn't be like an amazing thing, but like I've already said, I think it's a combination of living in an RV, being homeschooled, and then also just being part of like a family channel where you're just being filmed all the time. I feel like there is just no privacy with that, and if you already suffer from like mental illnesses and whatever, that is just gonna be too much. Like, I can't imagine anything worse than having to be like camera ready for my parents all the time, and that's just kind of the way I think about it. But I'm happy that, you know, I'm happy that they are choosing to sort of step away from it, but I just know that they're just gonna be now one of those generic family vloggers who does up the house and then just films like kids. I just know this is gonna happen, but I would love to hear your guys', is that a bit of hair? I literally have a hairbrush right here. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and feelings on all of that, and yeah, just drop it up, whatever. I literally can't even talk today. It is like I think it's like the second week of the summer holidays now, and I'm starting to feel a little bit like cuckoo crazy, if you see what I mean. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.
Guys, you want to back.